Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be showing you what mistakes not to make when you are creating your own tools. And originally, I was crafting up this AI automation for this Chrome tool that I built for the most part. So this is the working tool that I was creating. Create me some content on AI automation. Be just pro, and then basically it sends it to the webhook, and it's going to create that content for me. As you can see, it's working pretty flawlessly. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you a couple of mistakes that I made. So when you're crafting Chrome extensions and using Cursor, I just wanted to show you a couple of tweaks and just things that have really helped me with coding these in general. So a big thing was I was using Claude and Cursor to code this out. And something that I realized is that you can actually copy your workflows in NAN, and bam, so I shift and then selected all of it and then copied it. And what you can do is you can head over to Cursor and then paste all your NAN code and then have Cursor basically code the tool based off of that. The issue is that I actually had Cursor code my tool first, then created the NAN workflow, which is a terrible mistake because now Cursor and NAN are like on two different projects, and they're not really working together. That was my first mistake when building out these Chrome extensions. Another mistake that I made was the fact that I didn't prompt it well. As you can see, you see all these asterisks and then back scratches, which are messing with the JSON, where if you look at my original tool, this is what we did previously. I actually recorded a 2-hour video on this, and I just ran into just so many mistakes. But as you can see, it's all formatted just so nicely. It doesn't have the backslashes or the asterisks, and that was really screwing me up. And as you can see, this is a lot easier to basically have Cursor just prompt it into the tool versus my other workflow, which was doing big fat blobs like this, where Cursor probably couldn't handle this, causing my original tool here to basically have a ton of errors. And as you can see, I'll show you a little bit of just stuff that wasn't really working and what Cursor did wrong. So I said, hey, can you fix this to pull live answers? Actually coded a new freaking thing, and I didn't want it to do this. So I think it just shows just how important prompting is. If you are terrible at prompting, Cursor is gonna misread that and code another thing to make things more complicated and just waste more of your time, and you don't want that. So I think that hack of copying all your NAN code and feeding it to Cursor, then creating the tool based off of your NAN code is just super powerful, which is why it's good to learn these things. Because originally it thought that it was going to use the OpenAI credits to basically use this tool, but no, I was using NAN. You can see the confusion. You can see that it's being pretty weird. But as you can see, the tool is actually working, and we can just copy all of this in here. And then bam, you can use that wherever in the content. These are a couple tips that I've really understand, and I wanted to point out basically a couple tips with creating tools within your workflow. Is that I was using a RAG database, which actually had all my information on how I speak, just how I do things. And this content tool is actually pretty helpful. As you can see right here, all these notepads were created by the AI tool, and this has really helped me with focus, not get distracted by switching to ChatGPT and then copying that and then pasting it. Now I can just do it all within my workflow, basically creating things within this Figma and then basically copying this and then paste it into here to create YouTube content, which is super interesting. Because that's all I have to do. And with these modules, I can adjust it to noob versus expertise, sales objections, and then boom, I can paste this into Figma. So I wanted to really make this video on just the mistakes that I've made on creating super AI personal agents for your business. And these are just a couple tips to keep in mind when creating content, because I was using Claude to actually create the code, and Claude does work with creating code and then you uploading that to NAN and whatnot, but I wanted to make this video on a couple errors that I've just experienced with working with Cursor, NAN, and webhooks. And you just want to make sure that everything is in line. The last thing that I want to cover is that Cursor thought that I was actually doing a post webhook when actually I was trying to get the information and uploading it to the tool. So keep in mind with debugging, you always want to have the debug option just to see what answers are coming in, what is working, how is this all moving and whatnot, because that has really helped me just with creating these tools and then using them within my workflow and whatnot. So that's the video. I wanted to share a couple mistakes that I've made with creating just super intricate personalized tools. And yeah, I hope this video was super insightful. This is a little bit more advanced because this video that I was making took me almost 2 hours to create, so it was all over the place. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions about this video and just if these tips were helpful on debugging and just solving problems that happen in NAN. So that's the video. Have a good rest of your day.